Everyone. My name is Glenda Dawson. I have Mary Nunes and I have Mariana here. We are three witches in a what? Um, Hopefully you have been catching up on the other shows that we already have done. And we welcome you. Hope you join us for today and join us for others and give us your feedback. You know, email us, send us messages, find us on Facebook. We're all over the place. Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. So let us know what you think. We really appreciate some feedback and we really love to connect with our audience because we do this for love. We do this for you. We do this for all of us. If one of you heals, we all heal. So welcome again. So how you doing, Mary?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I was just Halloween shopping the other day, so this weekend. So, I'm all excited now.
Yes, Halloween. One of my, I think it's got to be our three favorites.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's so much fun.
It is.
Up and celebrate Samhain and all the lore that all that brings, right?
Right.
I love it.
How you doing, Mariana?
I'm doing great. I'm about to go and get my long black wig and my witch hat and my cape. Yeah, it's too bad I'm not going to be in Salem this year, but that's okay. I'll be in
No, my youngest one is going for you. They're going for all of us.
Good. We'll live vicariously through them then.
Yes, exactly. I told them they better take a lot of pictures. And they are taking a friend that is a photographer. So I already talked to him. I said, we need pictures. I already been there a few times. Unfortunately, this is not one of the years I could get away. So Mariana, you want to start today's discussion?
So today's discussion is actually going to be the obstacles that get in the way of our own spiritual development.
Very good.
What could that be? I could think of a few, but I'd like to definitely talk about something that is very important. Words, it's something I got channeled this morning actually before doing the show, is words have meaning. Words have energy. And it's something that a lot of us don't really talk about too much. And it's our voice is almost like, not only is it a vessel, but it's a propeller system. That's the way I look at it. And what comes out of our vocal cords can impact the rest of our lives. And so we could either negatively impact a circumstance, a situation, our own journey, or even change the trajectory of our own lives and shift it through our own words. And a lot of us don't know the intensity and the heaviness that some of the negative things that we put out. And even if we don't vocalize them, the negative thoughts that come into play and we entertain or we feed into and we don't filter through, and then later on come out through our vocal cords. It's almost like we breathe into life what we purely intend to happen.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when we're going through challenges, and a lot of times we are all going through challenges right now. And someone comes to us and says, well, stay positive, stay positive. And yes, as hard as it may be, and we want to accept it as, oh, you're just saying that just to pacify the situation. In many circumstances, that could save our lives. And it could also fuel and propel and perpetuate the positivity that can actually come out of a situation that looks so dark on the outside. And sometimes it could just simply be a test of our own journey.
Mm-hmm.
So today's message, and it comes right at Erev Yom Kippur. Erev Yom Kippur means the eve of Yom Kippur,
Mm-hmm.
which is, what is Yom Kippur? Yom Kippur is Judaic by ancient origin. But the truth of the matter is, if you look closely and do research, millions and millions and millions of people actually celebrate and honor and revere Erev Yom Kippur to the end, and actually go and hear the shofar, the lamb's horn being, actually brought out at the
Mm-hmm.
end, because it's not just a Judaic holiday. It is what the Jews actually refer to as Judgment Day. To many, it's a pivotal moment in life where a person is invited to self-reflect
Mm-hmm.
and look through what happened in the year. Yom Kippur shouldn't be only one time a year where you reflect upon what you're doing or you want to give charity. Oh my God, Yom Kippur, I have to do this. For a lot, a lot of people, they go out, they do charity work, they go out and do things, right before the holiday itself, because what the belief is not only the fasting that's important, but how you spend those 24 hours within that judgment day. It's almost like the book of life is opened. In spiritual terms, the Akashic records are all open.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're invited to self-reflect and see what were your actions. Nothing is really wrong or right, but what were your actions this year? How can you unbind the karmic threads? How can you reel them back? The common misconception is you cut the cords. No, you don't cut the cords, because the cords will always stay. You reel them back to you, reclaiming your power. And Yom Kippur is exactly, in Kabbalah and in spiritual terms, exactly about that. You self-reflect, you self-recapitulate your own soul, your own selves back to the entirety of your being. And so right on Erev Yom Kippur, you kind of see what is the resonance of your soul. What is the resonance that you have been emitting this entire year? What are the thought patterns? What are your words?
Mm-hmm.
If you're cursing up a storm due to challenges, but then you're going to pray 5 times a day, or then you're going and you're doing the spiritual rituals, that's wonderful. But there's a key component missing. Your words still carry. You can't, balancing, it's a balancing act. And so that's what came to me this Yom Kippur. Every Yom Kippur for me is a lesson. And literally, as Yom Kippur closes, the shofar is the sound is finished. I begin a brand new year. So my new year never starts January 1st. My new year always starts on Yom Kippur night when it ends, because I believe that it's a moment where you start over. It's a clean slate. In Latin, it's called tabula rasa, and everybody's invited to do that. And it's a beautiful opportunity. So today, my biggest message is filter through your emotions, filter through your words. Become the silent observer of yourself. Take yourself kind of out and just see yourself from the outside. See how you behave. See the mirror. See your own mirror. In Kabbalah, there's 7 mirrors, up to 8. Sometimes you have to look through those Kabbalistic mirrors to see what needs to be kind of the shadow work that has to go, and what needs to be cleared, what needs to be worked on. And so let this be your mirror for this year. And so how would you start life over on the clean slate? How would that look like? What would that clean slate look like? Would it still have that negativity aspect, or would you be more positive? Would you make more positive to anyone you come in contact with? What has your journey taught you till now? And most importantly, what is your resonance? What is each word? What is your breath speaking in each moment that you're breathing? And that's my biggest message for today.
That is beautiful. My goodness, that is beautiful.
Mary.
It coincides very well with this year's Hunter's Moon that's coming in on the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Because exactly how it is that what you're talking about, then you go into the Hunter's Moon, and what is it? Well, the power of the full Hunter's Moon is to actually release negativity.
Yep.
So while you're rummaging through yourself and removing and detaching negativity and looking at things in a more positive way, you have this beautiful Hunter's Moon coming in a few days later. And this is where we use the Hunter's Moon to get rid of negative thoughts, negative patterns that are in your mind, but mostly because they're holding you back. So it's not something that you want to keep. And again, it's interesting that you said, you don't cut the cords. No, you don't cut the cords. You cut the attachment, but there's always some remnants of a cord. Yes, if it's a cord that, and how we see it is, if it's a cord that you attached, then yes, reel it back in. But if it's a cord somebody else attached, you don't need it. Absolutely not. So this Hunter's Moon allows us time to actually open up all our bad habits, things that hurt us, memories and things that they just don't coincide with us anymore. But then it helps you get your mindset ready for a more positive journey. Even if it means that you're going into the darkness, it is still a positive journey, because you don't know what you're going to find in the darkness. It may be something beautiful that was hiding, just like diamonds hide in very dark mountains and volcanoes.
Exactly.
And they're in such a volatile space, and yet something as beautiful as a diamond would actually be created. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense what you put together, Mariana, and what it is that the full moon, the Hunter's Moon, has for us, especially now that we're approaching Samhain and all that stuff. But
And October is a big month, big month of introspect, of letting go. Mariana, if I'm not correct, please correct me. I do understand that you are also required to forgive anybody who has come and asked for your forgiveness, and this is your opportunity to go ask for forgiveness, right? So there's a lot of people that definitely should do this more often than just once a year. Okay, but at least once a year you get a clean slate, and you're hoping to start with better intentions, hoping that the idea is that you grab all that positive energy and let it carry you through the year. So maybe you learned that, yelling is not the thing to do.
correct.
Because nobody's going to listen to you after a while. Not. They're not. Seriously. Or you could be causing harm to somebody. Somebody could be very fearful if you're yelling. If you're having a bad day and you, not intentionally, but you close the door on someone. As soon as you realize it, say, oh my God, I'm sorry. And even though it's not in the month of October, because we all celebrate this month the same way. We all have, from the middle of September till the middle of October. That's the month. Those are the 30 days. And it's, yes, the calendar year kind of strange, but that is the time where almost all beliefs celebrated got together, gave thanks. That's the real Thanksgiving. Not the Thanksgiving that we picked in November, the date, but the real Thanksgiving is to give thanks for everything that we have had, everything we're going to receive, our necessities, not, the 55-inch screen TV, our necessities. That's what it was all about. The companionship, the family, the friends, the village, the togetherness, the oneness.
Yeah.
And people forget that. People forget that, Thanksgiving is not about the turkey. It's not about, overstuffing yourself until you fall asleep. Okay, granted, good opportunity, but it's not about that. It's about taking that time and spending it with everybody and enjoying positive energy and looking forward to the next holiday and hoping that by the winter solstice, you are ready and know what you need to already redo within you. So by the spring equinox, you are ready and open and come out like a big butterfly, all pretty, all positive, all shiny. I mean, that's the idea. So each one of these holidays, people always say, oh, I'm not Jewish, I'm not this, I'm not that. I said, doesn't make any difference. What does the tradition of asking for forgiveness have anything to do really with religion? Has to do with humanity, has to do with us, has to do with just being a good person. What is the big deal about somebody coming over and asking for forgiveness? You're giving it to them. You actually reel in or cut that cord by doing that, because nothing negative lasts if there's positive put into it. It's like kryptonite to Superman. Nothing negative will grow or anything like that if you give it positivity. So it doesn't make any difference what your belief is. What's the big deal? Take this as an opportunity to go, to your sister, to your brother, to your aunt, to your uncle, to your parents, to your siblings, to even your children, because sometimes, it happens. And you should say, hey, for whatever I did, I didn't do it on purpose, but whatever I did that may have caused you harm, I apologize. And I want you to tell me what it is, so in case I don't realize it, so I could change. We sometimes joke around with people, and joking gets sometimes a little out of hand, and we don't realize, or they don't realize that they're hurting us, and we don't realize we're hurting them. So here's to a day of forgiveness altogether. Plain and simple. No matter what it is. Day of forgiveness, the day of retrospect, the day of learning what you need to really change within you. So you become the true self and the true human you're supposed to be. Or, so we say. As you're in this meat suit right now.
In the meat suit.
In the meat suit.
In the meat suit.
So, yes. And, that's one of the things I believe that makes people stop or gives them challenges when they're doing their spirituality, because they put everything in boxes.
Yes.
Everything in boxes. Okay, no, I won't do that because that is Christian, or I won't do that because that's Jewish or Muslim or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a great tradition with great intention.
Yes, it is.
That's definitely one of the things that I have found, that stops a lot of people because they think everything has to be in a box.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a label.
So, with a label. Inappropriate.
Yeah. That's how they
Oh,
don't
please.
understand Samhain. Samhain
Yeah.
coming up. It's all about supporting your personal growth and spiritual evolution. It has
Exactly.
to do with letting go of the old and bringing in the new. It's
Yeah.
all symbolism. It
Right.
isn't. We have evolved so much that it is now celebrated. We can celebrate it fully.
Mhm.
Our own altars in our hearts,
Yeah.
with our own evolution in our hearts, our own ceremonies in our hearts. That's, I mean,
Mhm.
have been doing that forever. You know, we have our mesa, which is, I don't have it here, I have it in my room, but we have our Pachacuti mesa, whether if you're a keeper or you have
Mhm.
regular mesa, then you have your healing mesa, which you take with you. And you have the mesa that you have here. It's,
Mhm.
and it'll still work.
Exactly.
It's all,
Exactly. Yeah. And, and we were talking about the hunter's moon. That is why I do sound baths and
Mhm.
meditations in every moon, every full moon and new moon. I try to do it on the actual moon, but sometimes it gets a little hairy with schedule. But
Yeah.
everybody that comes or participates is able to release that old energy or is able to open up to receive the new positive energy.
Mhm.
And that's the idea. That is the idea. So,
Mhm.
so anything else that comes to mind, ladies?
Well,
Yeah.
we need to visit our sponsors for just a
Yes.
few seconds. So we will return after our sponsorship has been able to present for today. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us back and for listening to our sponsors. I think Mariana is her turn right now. Go ahead, Mama. Bless us with your beauty.
Yes.
So I just wanted to add, I studied shamanic energy medicine, and one of my mentors and teachers, Vivian, she had actually said to me one time, when she started the class, she said, to add to what Glenda and Mary was saying in regards to forgiveness, she said, how would you classify forgiveness? If you're carrying something from 20 years ago that someone said to you, that someone did to you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're feeling some type of way in your body, and you're feeling some type of way emotionally, you're going to continue meeting people that are going to self-reflect that back to you until you learn the meaning and the power of forgiveness. So whether it would be through people, through places, through circumstances, or through your own physical ailments, you're going to learn the power of forgiving that. And some
Mhm.
people, get ailments and then they look back and they're like, oh my God, 20 years ago, this is what happened. I'm still holding on to that. And she told us even a story of like, she had carried something for a long time. And then finally someone told her, are you going to still carry that poison from 15 years ago? And that's the first thing that she taught us in the first class, was that you want to carry that poison or you want to release that poison. So if you ask for forgiveness towards the person, even though if the person hurts you, it doesn't matter. You ask for their forgiveness in how you reacted, because you can't control someone else's actions. You can control your reaction though. And that's the
Mm.
difference. And that's where the key point of the poison lies. And what you do is like a follow-up almost to that action and that reaction. That's where that is. So if you allow someone to do something and you don't forgive and you carry on and you choose to carry on that poison, you choose to hold that grudge, you choose to remember that and make that a point of your life for for however long, then you're choosing to carry that poison. So at the end of it, you're just continuing that karmic thread of negativity, when you could simply have the opportunity, you're invited to have the opportunity to turn it into something more positive. And the first person you ask for forgiveness is from yourself. Because the truth is, you forgive yourself, it'll be a lot easier, 10 times easier to forgive someone else.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to ask that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
And so true, because disease is not only physical, it is also mental. You have the pain of disease, which is this innate weakness that falls inside of us, and whoever it is having disease, and it inflicts so much pain and so many bad memories in your mind. And this is where, where you have to, like you said, Mariana, you have to stop enabling yourself to fall into dis-ease, and to realize that there's great medicine out there. There is great medicine all around us. And yes, we are still in a meat suit. Yes, we still need to go see a doctor, because that's what they do. They fix the meat suit. But as long as we keep our positive outlook and understand that outside the meat suit, we are perfect, we are healed, that gives us a little more oomph moving forward, as far as moving out of the complexity that we fall into when it comes to obstacles that come into our lives as we're awakening. So yeah, it all falls into the same category. Absolutely, I agree.
And another thing, I don't know about you ladies, but I discovered is that one of the stumbling blocks is people's opinion. When we first start in our spiritual path, or we want to come out and really show, we all worry about what other people are saying. This is not their path. This is your path. If it fits and resonates and it makes you feel wonderful and it makes you sane and it makes you feel comforted and loved and like you belong, that's all it matters. It doesn't matter what Harriet, Elizabeth, Janet, Joe, or anybody said. The idea is to continue in your path. Many years, I kept everything quiet, basically. Especially after a couple of things when I was young, and then my mother was like, talk to me only, and in those times you get put away. Anyway, that was another thing. It was like, if you say anything, they're going to think you are crazy. They're going to put you away. So just talk to me about it. So you grow up, because if I say anything, or if people have an inkling, oh my God, so you become afraid. It's another stumbling block. You become afraid of judgment. Who cares? They're not supposed to judge you anyway. If they're Christians, they're not supposed to judge you. Because they're Christians, they're following the New Testament, and the New Testament said, you are not to judge. They're not the judge. So, you know, and I looked at it as, okay, it's time to come out of the closet, so to speak, and just go out there and spread love, spread unity, spread knowledge, let people know that they're not going crazy, that what they're seeing is there, that what they're feeling is truly there, that they're connecting with others. You know, that when they know who's going to call even before a caller ID existed, that's okay. It is okay. It isn't that, you know, there's anything wrong with that. I like to wear a lot of black. I'm trying desperately not to wear a lot of black because my closet is basically black and this little much of color. So I was told to please wear a few other colors. So I am. But almost every picture that anybody has taken of me, when I used to go out dancing, I was in black. Or no, there was two pictures in red, but everything else was in black. When I had my hand fasting with a black dress. I like black. It has nothing to do with what I believe, what I don't believe. It's just I like the color or the uncolor, whichever it is. That I love black. So, you know, people were even saying, "Oh, you wear too much black." Yeah. Are you paying for my clothing? No? Okay. So that's when I finally started realizing and saying, are you paying my bills? No? Okay. Are you feeding me? No? Okay. Are you clothing me? No. Are you going to work for me? No. Then you got no opinion in my world. And that's when I finally said, why am I hiding? Why am I so worried about what others say? They're all going to think I'm crazy anyway. Okay. I have more fun that way, scare them more. I love scaring people. It's kind of my little hobby. And they get all nervous and jerky. And you're just sitting there doing nothing. Absolutely. You're not even realizing that they're getting all nervous and jerky because they find out that, oh my God, she's wearing black. Is she going to a funeral? Is she doing this? Is she doing that? You know, now it's when black is cool to wear and stuff like that. But I was wearing it when everybody else, there wasn't a single black outfit unless you were going to a funeral. I was like, oh, I need to wear white to the funeral because that was a celebration. You know, what can I say? But that's another thing. Fear in general. That holds you back because you don't get the classes, the knowledge. You don't get together with others that are in the same family, as I call it, the tribe. You know, the spiritual tribe. You don't get together and just discuss and enjoy and join each other's energies because you're afraid. I am sure that you ladies have come up with many other obstacles. We always come up with obstacles in our way, including jealousy. People who get jealous because we're like, okay, you don't like us.
That baffles me.
It does.
That totally baffles me. Jealousy and envy. That totally baffles me. Because if you take, and this I got from, I posted something from my galactic shaman guide, Alanea, about mirrors. So I've learned that anybody that shows jealousy or envy towards me, they're really resonating with themselves. So it has nothing to do with me. I cannot react towards somebody that is being jealous or angry or bad mouthing me or even thinking bad about me or even talking behind my back, because it is, and we got to get ego out of the way. It isn't because I'm so much better than they are because I'm at a different level of enlightenment. No, even that doesn't come to the platform. It is their inability to love themselves. And this is one of the big ones that happens during people's awakening. They're awakening and they don't, because they don't have people around them to help them to, become their shepherd or become their mentor. They're getting all these emotions and all these negative energies around them, which is, by the way, all over the place until they finally placate and, take their position so that you can work with them. But then they're the ones that end up unfortunately believing that they're not worthy. Therefore, if they believe that they're not worthy, that's huge, because then they can't progress. They can't evolve in their awakening, and they don't want to do it alone. They want to take somebody with them, because that's, like you said, that's fear.
Yep.
Fear sets in and so I'm not going to go through this by myself. I'm just going to be, they expect me to be this way. Well, I'm taking somebody with me, and that's the one that just throws me off, because it's such a primitive feeling, but it's such a real emotion on people that are awakening. And it's just because of the lack of knowledge, the lack of teaching them what to expect since they were young, and actually guiding them towards choose the different path. That is right there in front of you. It's easier to get to. But yeah, I mean, it's a real one. That one's a real one, because it doesn't let you grow, and it actually helps you fail at whatever it is that you're learning, and then it sets you back. So that's
It's like a big anchor.
Yeah, it just
like a big anchor.
drowning.
And yeah.
And it's also like you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
If you can take the steps forward.
Step forward. Yeah, usually it's half of 1 forward and 3 back, because that jealousy, that envy, you're worrying about what the others are doing instead of worrying what you're doing.
Exactly.
A lot of the times, if you should spend that energy in concentrating on yourself, you will be doing exactly what you need to do without even worrying about it. You will just find yourself in a higher place, more open, more spiritual, without letting any of that negative in, and not allowing that negativity to stay there. So
yeah.
But you have to be open to that. You have to be open to that understanding. And that's what I think most of us, when we start the spiritual journey, we're learning towards how to remember that. We're learning how to remember being in the space of, I am where I am now, where I'm meant to be now. I am growing at my own pace. This is not a competitive race to the finish line. And so I am doing what I need to do for my journey. And I'm not going to be insecure about anybody else's, because they are there for their journey and this is mine. And that's where that is, the lack of remembering And I think that ascension, that spiritual development gears us towards remembering ourselves, how to love ourselves. It's about the
Exactly.
relearning, the remembering of it. And the whole journey is about self-love, that unconditional love, because how could you love someone else if you don't know how to love you? And if we don't remember how to unconditionally love in general, that's where the insecurity comes stemming right out. It's like a rose with thorns. That's the thorn. And the
Yeah.
jealousy will come because, oh, well, she graduated this. Oh, look at how much she, why does she get to do that? Or why does he get to, he's not better than me. But that's where the ego does have to kind of take a little short trip down the park. And you go through, well, you go through the dark night of the soul. You go through the
Right.
ego death, and you kind of understand that I have to take myself out of the way in order to see the clearer picture and remember how to love me, how to self-care for me, and that I am responsible for me, and that no one else is responsible for my actions, my reactions, and what I do for me. Because at the end, this journey is remembering how to be us, how to be sovereign, and not to rely on everything else outside of us, how to get everything from within us, which we have everything within us.
Yeah,
And if we truly understood that, right, if we understood that, we are halfway through the journey already.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to, if I can, one of the things that I learned very early on, although society and people in society that want to help or think that they can help through a difficult moment in your spiritual awakening, there's this, they say, oh, well, society doesn't approve of your spirituality. I like to call a BS on that. I really do want to call a BS on that, because it isn't that society doesn't approve of our spirituality. They really couldn't give a fly. They couldn't. They don't really care. They have their own thing that they're going through. However, they are reacting to whatever it is that they see that's around them. So if I were to say, oh, well, I'm a Wiccan, or I'm a solitary, which I was for a very long time. There's a part of my family, Baptist raised, and it was like, oh my God, let's get a pastor and get you exorcised. No, the idea there was, we don't want anybody to know that in our family you're there and that's what you are. Like I said, they don't really care. Society does not care about your spiritualism or your spirituality or what path or what is it that you're following. Are you Wiccan? Are you solitary? Are you what? They don't really care. What they do is they react. And the first ones that react is, of course, family and friends. They're like, oh, but if you really, really, really ask them, do you really care? They're going to go, no, it's just, these people over here, they're following,
Right.
So knowing that, and you put everything together, that's one of the biggest problems that we have when because you think you're doing something wrong. Here comes doubt, which is part of ego.
Yeah.
Here comes doubt, and doubt says, maybe you should, go into Buddhism. Maybe you should read about Buddhism. This brings about that, that spiritual hunger that everybody goes through when they're awakening, because all the good stuff from every single faith, they all come. They know you're going through an awakening. They want to show you the good stuff. There's hunger. right? But nobody explains that. And that is so important, you know, talking about these obstacles and how we can, how can we fix it? Well, we don't. We understand it. We
Exactly.
understand it. We don't fix anything. We understand it. We embrace it and we say, you know what? This is part of it. So I'm going to lay low. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to learn everything. And I'm going to make my decision when I finally sit down and speak with my ancestors and meditate with my angels. And I speak to my spirit guides and I get the guidance that I'm looking for and that I deserve.
Mm-hmm.
That is when we truly, truly start understanding it. Oh, here we go. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is a big, a big obstacle
Yes.
following
Yes.
Mariana, what she said. Yeah.
And it just seems like um, everybody goes through basically the same obstacles, or it seems like to me. Just we go to a different way or a different sequence. That's all. You know, some of us may put things in boxes. Some of us may have fear. Some of may. We even have had jealousy. We
Oh,
moved on from that, but in the
yes.
very beginning, you know, oh wait, I know how to do that. What did she get all the fame for it? Me, I was hiding in the background. I was like, oh, go ahead, be the first one out there. Let everybody throw the eggs and tomatoes at you.
Remember?
I'll follow. Yeah, go ahead. You do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
stay in the background and then I'll go in slowly. But
Yeah.
seriously, I you guys see me here. I was the quiet one that would hide, would put up my shield so nobody even knew I was there. Because I love to just sit back and observe. Because you learn where everybody is if you just sit there and learn and observe. And that includes yourself. If you're looking at somebody and you're saying, but I can do that, why do they have all the fame? Or all the fortune? Oh, why did they get to do this? Why did they get mentioned? Why did they go up on the thing? You know what? Why are you not allowing that to happen in your life? Why are you not setting the intentions that I want to be out there so I can help others? So I want to be that lighthouse so others can see me, because that's the only way those that need the help are going to find us. Right? It's all how you look at it. And once you go through all those obstacles, and that doesn't mean that once you're enlightened, you're going to get no more obstacles. On contrary, they're going to then put new, very well thought obstacles in your way, because every once in a while they got to say, oh, let's see, has she really learned that lesson yet? Or is she just skimming over it? You know, Mary and I, we were talking a while back. We both took shamanism, and all of a sudden we know it, and all of a sudden we get hit in the head with it. No, you don't. You got to go back and redo it.
Oh my God. You reminded me of that.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yes. I thought it was the most sobering thing though. It was great. It was wonderful. I think it was a pivotal point where you realize that, wait a minute, this is where you leave ego behind.
Exactly.
And he goes back to doing what its job is truly about. Here I am. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I've gotten this. Here's my doctor's, because I got my doctor's spiritual development, which I had started about 2 to 3 years ago. This was 2 to 3 years ago back.
Right.
And then I had also started shamanism. And that was I hadn't started it then. I had started even before the Doctor of Spiritualism. And it was a long journey. And I was like, oh my God. Every time I turned a corner, I'm like, wow. And then just when I thought that I had gotten to a point in my shamanism that, and I got my doctor's degree, and I'm like, okay, I am going out there. I'm really going to push the shamanism. I'm going to push this. I'm going to push that. All of a sudden, shamanism goes, oh, we're not done with you.
Yeah.
By the way, everything that you thought you evolved away from, yeah, we do it here in rituals and in ceremony. And I was like, are you kidding me? What do you mean? Yeah. Yeah, you can't let go of your orishas. You can't let go of any of those beautiful Yoruban knowledge, which I'm still learning because I've never been that into my roots as a Cuban woman. I've learned spiritism, which is, yeah, absolutely. That just comes natural. But the other parts, and no, I do not agree with animal sacrifice, because I do not. We're way past that. Even that is even that branch is moving along and evolving as well. But just when I thought, next time, when I leave my bodysuit and I, go to my next tour, I'm going to have everything, all my tools. And it's like, about that.
Yeah.
Not so fast, Mary.
Reality check. Reality check. Yeah.
Let's go back. Have you ever heard of the Pachacuti Mesa? I was like, really?
The what? Wait, what?
But
Repeat that?
Pachacuti Mesa.
No, I know.
Oh, and I was like, what? Yeah, let's talk about your orishas and the Pachacuti Mesa. Let's find common ground. I was like, oh my freaking God. Okay. And here we are today.
That's like the Egyptian shamanism. I thought I was done. I thought I was done. I thought I was done.
No.
And then the team says, oh, you got to review because there's something you missed. I'm like, what do you mean I missed? I went through every single page. I went through every lecture. I went through this. You missed something. And sure and behold, it's like when you watch a movie and you see it again, remember that section in the movie? Where did that come from?
Got it.
Yeah. It's like a deja vu all over again, and you got to redo it. Too bad. It happens. But that just shows, or at least to me, I'm sure it did to you also, Mary, that we still had the ego in charge. Absolutely. We needed to demote that ego. Correct. Yes, ego still has a place in us.
Yes.
But we needed to demote the ego.
Yes. Yes.
It's like, you got a demotion. Sorry, your job is a little less right now. Can't be the boss anymore.
I had to thank mine. I actually had to thank my ego for doing more than it was supposed to, because obviously I enabled it. I had to come to that term that, you wouldn't have gotten to this point unless I understood that I was the one that enabled you, not anybody else. It was me. So I need to say I'm sorry. I need to apologize for putting you in that predicament, because now you've grown so big that it's going to be hard for you to go back and do the job that you need to do, which is protection. Just protect me when I need it. But what I found from ego was very interesting. I found that ego had no problem stepping back and going into his rightful place. And when I had a meditation with ego, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can have a meditation with ego and connect, it was because it loved me. loved me
Yep.
so, so much that it allowed me to enable it to get to that point. So when I learned that, I even felt even worse. I was like, oh my God. And then I learned, apart from that, how not to do that to the people around me. And for me, that was, wow, this was it. This is why I needed to go back. And
Yeah.
don't even get me started on galactic shamanism.
Oh,
We're back.
we're back.
to
We're
basics.
back. We're doing it again.
Oh my God.
May I add?
Yes.
Sure.
The thing is that about a karmic lesson or a lesson in general in this meat suit
Mhm.
is that once you learn the lesson, what happens? It never comes back again.
Right.
So
Right.
it stops right there, right? But then
Yeah.
we have to actually, the whole key is we have to actually learn the lesson. But if
Mhm.
we don't go through our moments of dark nights of the soul, ego death doesn't mean, okay, well, that's it, my ego's dead.
No.
That's it, that's the end of it. No, ego death means that you actually confront yourself
Mhm.
one-on-one, whether you do it in meditation or in a mirror, or you go through a series of whatever it is, however it looks like to you, and
Right.
you confront your ego. And then you understand that your ego was never meant to be an enemy of any kind. It's not the enemy of the state. It's not the enemy of the people or the humans republic. Your ego is actually
Mhm.
your closest, most dearly beloved friend who
Mhm.
allows the opportunity not only for protection, but for you to see like a red flag. Hey,
Right.
there's something going on. There's something you need to reevaluate, something you need to see. And I'm just trying to it's almost like pain. How would you
Yep.
know that there's something going on in your body if you don't have the pain?
If you don't have the
Exactly.
How many diseases have gone undiagnosed because you didn't know there was no signs, and it led to possible fatalities or whatever the case is. So your ego is almost like that. It's your bestest friend. It hurts. It hurts
Mhm.
others,
Mhm.
also depending on their levels of ego. But it allows you to, if you just befriend it and confront it, and you just kind of, my old teacher of the awakening of the illuminated heart workshop, which was one of the first things I took in my spiritual journey, Evelyn, and she used to study with the Melchizedek,
Mm.
John below Melchizedek. She used to say, if you just have tea with it just one time, and it doesn't have to be an ayahuasca derived tea or real. She said, just have tea with it just one time. You will understand that it's not meant to hurt you, and it never was placed there to hurt you. It's
Right.
actually there as your intermediary in between you, your meat suit, your spiritual self, and the world
Mhm.
outside.
yes.
And,
Mhm.
and once you learn that as part of your lesson, some people just come into earth having that lesson. Learn the ways of the ego. That
That
should be
is
a book
true.
if it's not already. You got to check the
We
ISBN
we
number.
see it. We see it as we're growing up.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what we get.
It's a self-defense mechanism, because every time as a child or our inner child was hurt, we use that as a self-defense mechanism when we shut
Mhm.
down, or a way to protect ourselves. Because I mean, there's healthy ego still. I mean,
Right.
ego plays a big part in many things,
Mhm.
and then in some people, I see many cases where people are altruistic and philanthropists, and they go out of their way for charity, and they help so many people, and then all of a sudden they go through ego death, and bam, they help no one. And then people come and ask, well, what happened? Well, I don't think I was doing it for all the right reasons. I think I was
Yeah.
doing it because I just wanted to put a check mark, and I wanted to feel like I belong, and I wanted to be in the limelight, and I wanted people to tell me thank you, and I wanted to
Right.
be seen and acknowledged. And when
Yeah.
people are not seeing and acknowledging me, what's the purpose of doing it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Purpose of doing it is because you're going to be authentic to yourself. and you're going to do it for the love of humanity and love
Mhm.
that you have as a whole, because you kind of still pay rent to be here on earth. It might not be
Mhm.
pennies or shekels or
Okay.
ruble
Yes.
or pesos, but it is, you're still paying rent to be here.
Mhm.
And if you're going to be
Mhm.
authentic, the best advice is befriend your ego, because it's really there to kind of help you along the way and help you learn those lessons. That's really what it's there for. I know when I went to Kabbalah, Kabbalah taught me that, just like you ladies, and and
Mhm.
learning the shamanic
Yeah.
ways.
Yes.
Kabbalah taught me every time I went through a level. Oh my God!
Get
Some
ready.
I'm not done. I guess I got to revisit this. Well, but I thought I learned it already. No, rewrite.
Because, be- because, we're thinking, oh, we got it up here,
Yep,
but they're saying not everything made it here.
right.
And so you got to reread it. So you figure out what are the parts that you still have to ingest and make it part of you.
Yes.
And
Correct.
that's all about growing.
Yep.
That's all about growing. That's all about healing. That's just being in the true path, no matter which path you have taken. Because you could be really spiritual and go to Catholic Church or Baptist Church or whatever. More power to you. If you could do that, it is tremendous because you bring that true oneness and that true loving energy
Mhm.
into a building
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
others can still heal from, no matter
Mm-hmm.
where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
just
that,
to add to that, Glenda, in shamanism, there's this thing where you go into meditation, I learned, and you go into like specific planes and you go enter a garden. I remember when I was
Mhm.
studying shamanic energy medicine. And I remember, myself included, a whole bunch of us were like, when we went to the garden, here we are with our ego. Okay, well, we healed this, this, this. So the garden should look beautiful and have beautiful flowers and sunflowers growing. I went into my garden years ago. I said, well, where's the flowers?
Yeah.
The bushes, what happened?
What
The
happened to the
roses are like
seeds,
this,
right?
they're going down, they're not going up. Everything is like disheveled, and there's water and there's a swamp.
Yes.
I'm like, where's the
Yes.
garden? There's not even a gazebo. It's swampland. What happened?
What
And
happened?
my, I look at my mess. I'm like, okay, I have all this stuff in there, and I'm great. I'm collecting and I'm learning and I'm doing my work. I'm doing my shadow work. And then, the shaman that was there speaking, he was like, well, did you ever really look and check into your garden? Because you seem to be doing all the work outside.
Yeah,
Have
but
you
not.
actually gone into the inn? Because the work
Mhm.
that you do in the inn, that's what's going to stem out and reflect on the outside. And
Correct.
perhaps next time you visit the garden, you'll actually start planting, not through your intention, start building. And
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
start to cut pieces out like lemons and start to actually build and rebuild and reconstruct and demote,
Mhm.
you'll see things starting to grow. So next time I went into the garden 3 years later, I mean, the garden's still not planted properly yet, but we're all perfectly imperfect. But at least there's some weeds growing. That's a good start.
That is. And that's a
There's-
beautiful story. It's a beautiful story
Yeah.
because yes, in shamanism, when we get given rights, we have our rights that we go through our ceremonial rites. And these are seeds that we are given. Now, we're in a hurry to help others and we forget that we have to water our own. So that is a huge lesson
Mhm.
for us all, because we always give too much and
Very true.
we forget that the lesson here is also to learn how to take care of yourself and how to give yourself. Because if you can't feed someone if you have nothing to give them?
Right.
You can't. So that's huge. Yeah. That
That
is
is definitely. Mhm.
wow.
We'll be right back after some sponsor wording.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us back. Here we go.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mariana. Thank you to our audience, all of our followers. Please do remember to look us up, follow us, get in touch with us, email us. We love to hear from you. And we do now have to go. Say goodnight, bid you adieu, namaste. We love you all.
Good night, everybody. Thank
Good
you.
Good
night.
night.
Namaste.